come and say something. I wanna hear your voice.
All the eyes on me, all the eyes are all on me. All the eyes on me, all the eyes are all on me. All the eyes on me, all the eyes are all on me. All the eyes on me, all the eyes are all on me.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy, the Mr. Fox, back again with another review of Unordinary. This week we're doing chapter 113, episode 110, whatever gets you by, whatever floats your boat. And you know how we do this. Quick little recap of last week's episode, and then we jump straight in. So, recapping last week. So last week, Arlo busts into the newspaper room, and he's upset. He has the article about Serafina that got published against his wishes. He's strictly told Cecile not to print it. She went behind his back, and she had her people publish it anyway, but not under the name of the newspaper. It was probably like under like anonymous or whatever. But Arlo knows that's crap. It's like all the information flows through. He even says it's like all the information in the school flows through you first. So obviously I'm gonna come back to the source, and he fires her, which I wasn't expecting. He fires her, and then he makes Eason, who's in there for a meeting, he makes him the boss. He makes him the head guy in charge now. And Cecile pretty much is like, no, you can't do that. And he's like, are you challenging my authority? She pretty much does, and she activates her ability. We don't know what her ability is. It looks like just like energy needles or energy projectiles. Arlo cuts his barrier on, sends it back. She gets not splash damage, but not recoil damage, but reflection damage. She goes down, and he's pretty much like, okay, you're banned. Don't ever step foot in here. But I'm pretty sure I might be reading too much into it, but she looks at Eason before she walks out, and she gives him a look like she's either saying like, I'm gonna be back, or I still run this piece even though I'm not allowed to step foot in here. And then she bows to Arlo, and then he walks out, and then Eason goes over to the girls' dorm and just is about to discuss some things with Blake and Remy, and they're like, how did it go? And he's like, I don't know what in the world just happened. I mean, that's it. I'm just gonna do a real quick one this week. So yeah, I mean, that's how last week was. Now, jumping into this week's chapter, it picks straight up from last week. It shows Eason, Blake, Remy all in her room. They're talking about what they did when she dressed up as X-Ray that night for the hero, because she's dressing up to try and get Ember's attention so she can figure out what happened to her brother Ray and all that. I want to know, but Eason points out that whoever wrote the article did a crappy job. He's like it's written badly, and the picture they got for it is crappy. He's like, we can do better. So Eason, it's just shocking come from him, because he was one of the main, like him and Blake were both against it at first, but Eason was like probably like one of the main ones. It's like, are you crazy? This is nuts. But he's the first one to come up with an idea that they found a new target, and they're gonna film this, and he said he's gonna make sure he gets some real juicy shots, and he's gonna type it up and get some more views, because Ember's not gonna pay attention to you if you're just some small fry, or if no one wants to take time to read the article because it's written poorly. So that's what shocked me the most. That Eason's like really going like full on board with this. It almost looked like Blake was shocked about it too. But that's all we get from them this week. Then we cut over to a very tired looking Serafina. Oh wait, I'm jumping ahead. So after after Remy, Blake, and Eason talk out their plan, it cuts to the next day. Blake wakes up and he's like, I should have stayed in bed longer. And then he's like, because John takes forever. So as he's walking to the bathroom, he notices that it's empty. John's not even in there. John's gone for like the day or not. So then we cut over to a very tired looking Serafina, as I said before, and she sees John, and this is glorious. I'm going to put that right here. I'm like, John does not have the hair gel on. I'm like, yes. And I love what Serafina said. She's like, huh, no helmet today. And at first he doesn't get it, but then it clicks. And he's like, oh, no. And he said it takes too long. Yes, it does. Don't ever do it again. Ever. Even though I know it's going to happen sooner or later. But, right now I'm just happy to see him without it. And Serafina says something that I wasn't expecting from her. She tells John, she's like, hey, well, first off, she tells him like, well, first off, sorry, y'all. John asks her how she's doing. She says, she's like, I'm fine. I love losing my ability. And, contemplate. And then she proceeds to tell him that I've been up all night again, pretty much feeling sorry for myself. And then she's like, hey, John, later, can you teach me some moves so, I can at least protect myself? And, and it cut straight to it. I thought it was going to be like, show like some scenes where like they're in the class, they're in lunch, talking, whatever. No, but it cut straight to it. And we see John with his school jacket off. He's just in regular white shirt, and they're up on the roof. And he proceeds to train her. He shows her the very first technique that his dad taught him, which is pretty much like parry and then counter strike. So like he tells Serafina to throw a punch. She throws one, he redirects it, and then takes his free hand and stops it like right there at her gut. And she's just I guess amazed. She's like, that was pretty quick. And I'm just like, well, if you're gonna pretend to be crippled, you gotta at least be good at fighting, And John states like that technique will work on pretty much any mid-tier enemy that's like really into like CQC or close combat or close quarters combat. So yeah, it's interesting to see, but I love the whole scene. I just love seeing like Serafina and John like together. It makes me very happy. And, John was smiling the whole time. He, you can tell he's really enjoying this, just spending some quality time. Also, making sure you can beat the tar out of somebody if they come across your path. And if they don't know how to use their ability, they will. But yeah, and it ends there. That's pretty much where the chapter ends. John shows Serafina and he tells her like, okay, now it's your turn to try it, to practice it, and then it ends, which makes me super sad. I'm like, oh man, I wanted to see more of this, but hopefully next week I'm pretty sure next week we'll continue on with that, and then we'll probably go check in on Eason, and hopefully I'm hoping after we get done with Serafina and John next week, I want to see what Arlo is up to. We know what Eason and John and them are about to plan and all that. We'll see the preparations for later, but I want to see what Arlo is up to and what's really going through his mind and all that. But other than that, this chapter, it was good. I liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Be sure you go check out my live reaction of it. And also go check out my other videos. But with that being said, do all the other stuff that I told you. Subscribe, like, hit the bell. Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. Also, another shameless plug. Go see My Hero Academia 2 Heroes. As you can see, I'm Izuku Midoriya out. I saw the film twice, but I got a review coming out, so you can go watch that. But it's your boy Fox signing.